we are called back Coffee TV. This is the Spotlight Show. And then when it comes to the Spotlight Show, what we do is have conversations with people doing very well in the space that we find ourselves in, being in business, being in education, being in the creative arts. We talk to them. Their stories are meant to inspire you, to encourage you, to let you understand that you can also achieve the milestone that they are on, whether you just started or they are already at the end of the tunnel with what we are looking at. And to see about that, and we believe that you learn something from it. We believe that you get encouraged from it. And then come on, so many ubia been for almost like 5 years now. He's been a colleague in the creative space, but not just creative space, in the main and mobile drilling because he also ventured. I don't know whether he ventured or he's still in it. He went into politics or he's in politics. He was standing for KEA, our about Cape Coast and it's about there's a district called Commander Edna Iguafu Adu, that is KEA district. I don't know how to put on Moja, and this Kasamusa. We talk about all this on the Spotlight Show. Today we do a very interesting young guy doing very well for himself. And on the morning, you made a lot of opportunities, Charlie. Cape Coast Connect, he introduced me to it, and I'm really enjoying everything. The youths are doing very well. We are going to talk about all this on the Spotlight Show here. This show is proudly brought to you by capestore.com. Now look at Cape Store, KAPE, then you add store to it.com. Equadam platform now, all you do is you sign up to be a seller or a buyer. A sign up, and when you get a camera and use it, you want to sell it. You just go there, upload it, and somebody looking for a camera to buy will also go there and purchase it. But the most interesting aspect of it is, say, as a buyer, item when you place the order and you do the payment, it doesn't go straight to the seller. Now I cannot use Kenton from bro. When it goes or the payment is done, it goes to the platform. That is the owners of the platform. Nimpana or on the bro we are our there platform like the mansaka adna moton. Then they will deliver the money to the seller of the item. So on your fracadam or something that has come to stay, something that has come to make sure that we go far. You are idea. So you make sure you are support. Go on all social media platforms as well on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and even on TikTok to make sure you follow us. And on YouTube channel right now, make sure you enjoy the conversation. Let's go for a quick break. When we come back, I will introduce my guest and we start the conversation. Welcome back from the quick break. Today I'm making bread and bomb and I'm here to learn from him. Let me say that on a fact. How he has been able to do that as a young guy. Welcome on the show. We are all pleased to have a brother from another mother, Mr. Smile. Good evening, bro.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me on the show. My introduction, right? The power. Charlie, you always say,
yeah, man, can you boom? But honestly, about you, no, I don't know kind of ask my cow introduction, but we talk about.
No, I thank you so much. Again, we've known ourselves quite a long time.
Yeah,
I think more than 7 years.
More than 7 years.
More than 7 years. So I want to say thank you to you. I want to say thank you to the crew for having me. And also thank you to everybody who keeps enjoying Coffee JC TV. I want you to keep coming back every now and then. Again, thank you for having me.
How do you ever start in comment? Say, you get a guest on a show, not paying the introduction. You started or casa, you know what the person is well equipped with. This guy, I'm going to say, or a presenter, or a teacher, or your advocate, or your everything that a young guy will aspire to be. You start from that angle because no conversation, you are starting no bluff, I don't know, I don't know, it's man still in your bay and higher, Mr. Smile.
Yeah, Jason.
Before, okay, let me do it this way. When we say Mr. Smile, who is Mr. Smile?
Alright, again say thank you. But you get to Fafra.
Yeah.
Well, so Mr. Smile, my real name is Gideon Nanasma. And I'm from Elmina, the Tiafra Popa, the Java Hill, that's the name of the place. So I'm a very local boy. No brother, yeah. So basically I'm a communicator. That is what I choose to define myself as. I'm a professional MC now, and I do a lot of communication stuff. So basically, that is what I am. But the name Mr. Smile, just a bit to that. I know you mentioned Mr. Smile, so people will be wondering why Mr. Smile. So in the creative space, that is the name I chose to use. It started as DJ Smile.
Okay.
Thanks to one of my managers, a friend, Fico Dali
Fico
from ATL FM.
Okay.
So Anna started off from DJ Smile. But I started on radio by playing songs and all that as a DJ. Then gradually I felt like, okay, I'm not doing so much of the DJ bits until I'll just add a prefix and I added a Mr. But the Smile bit is just simple. I picked this from somewhere. I've forgotten exactly, but the word smile is just SMILE, 5-letter word. But E, as if you are, it's a mile. And a mile is a very long distance. So the import I got is a smile is a very short word, but when you do it, it goes a mile to change people. And see, I then decided that, well, I will rock around with this name, Mr. Smile. So then, even though Mr. will be very brief, but I believe that it will go a long way to affect people because I feel like Mr. will be so best, so then I forget that's where it's all coming from.
I keep saying that when I get on this show, it's not only about me, it's more about my viewers because with what you said, I keep learning. The word smile itself, the S removed from smile, we get mile.
Mile, yeah.
Then the smile itself is just something small. We got to know about common. Next so kekeno. It takes you on a long journey to get inspired. Actually, it is possible. This person is doing. It's very interesting. But let's go to the hard one, Mr. Smile. We know you're Makakala. Where I heard you from was Castle FM.
Okay.
Is that where the professional journey of you holding or hosting your own show? Is that where you started from?
Okay. Again, thank you. So no. Prior to even joining Plague Multimedia, I think in level 100 on the UCC campus, I joined one of the vacation, the first year vacation. I went to ATLFM to, no matter what's the word for student presenters and all that, but I listened to them every time. One man announcement in Amada. So during the vacation, before the vacation actually, one of my roommates, about 200, it's not catching there. Oh, normally if you don't hear it, you can go there and ask. Into one more kind of whatever internship letter from my department. And mind you, I read accounting.
Yeah.
I read education in accounting. So
when I introduce myself as a communicator, I'm like, okay, I'll come there because I'm really more school. It's straight at the point.
So yes, so I read accounting, but I went there and may so rest in perfect peace, Mr. Marcotte, one fine old man or one of them. Why accounting everybody radio? Then I said, I just love to be on radio. And I said, okay. So the biggest person of all this career was Pinto. He's a marketing manager at ATLFM. He said, listen, Onyashi, accounting in Pobra, we'll take you to the marketing area. So I started the whole radio thing in 2015, around September, as a marketing person. Me a marketing, I was learning everything from Pinto. Then one day I was known for adverts. So one of the printed adverts, and I was supposed to send it to the studio. Then I was supposed to one other presenter, friend, Godfrey Enu. So the champ. A big thank you to that gentleman. On him, he just looked at me that day and asked, why? It looks like I know him from someone who's know. I'm not too sure. Okay, I'm not too sure he knows me. Then he simply said, listen, I want you to come on my show and do entertainment stories for me. And I said, Minim, I had not experienced that bit. The only thing that made me feel like I wanted to do radio was, your woman. Your radio do or it's as a bonima. So I turned down. Like hype men. So my friends were like, it's cool. And by then I could talk about church for drama and all those related stuff, but I had not officially begun it. I've tried a little radio drama before then, or I'm FM as well. So, long story short, he gave me that opportunity. The first time was whack. I'm sorry to use that word, but it was. I can tell you that it was bad. But Padiri and I tell me that, oh, I say, okay, but next time I just don't want you to read it. I print 7 pages. What Ghana Web. 7 pages. And it tell my stories. Next time, let's have it a conversation. So then it began, then it went well. Then I got people like Don K, Mr. Bennett, to also telling me that, listen, this is it. You have to start learning. People like Kojo Day. Kojo Day was the big person behind me. I didn't know how to play with the virtual DJ. Or who's ball to, I mean, all the nitty gritties in there. So officially, that's where I started. But I was with them the first year. I missed out on my interview to be a student presenter in the second year.
Okay.
Me a late. Apparently, my day kakra. I'm watching Amanda. In time, upon me, girl, my idea, my chance on school. My mom family to work kakra. On Mama from Elmina to Cape Coast onward. Before I realized I had hit the number and I was over time. So I got there and the original place for the interview was ATL conference room. But apparently we moved to Adishi conference room. And because of that time frame, the message, delayed me. And apparently it was not even 1-1. It was a group interview.
Okay.
So that's how come I got in. And Kofi Knedu, the manager by there, told me that I'm late and I have no business there. So that year I missed my opportunity. That's how come I ended up finding you or you finding me.
Yeah.
I don't know how we found
I also don't know how we found
but
ourselves.
eventually we find ourselves in there. I mean, it was a beautiful time at Pledge Multimedia. So with Pledge Multimedia and the show you talked about, it was our campus
campus vibes.
Campus vibes. I was happy to be aboard because I had learned a bit from the first year in IT. It was all good till I came in and I loved everything we were doing. Then in the third year, the second year and then I was from there. There's an opportunity if I would like to come back. They didn't actually call me. So I went back because Matilda were in. And because I had been there a little bit, yeah, so there was this woman who she was in the news section. No, Mama back now, Barrister Daniels. They said, am I going to be committed? I showed interest and I said I'm going to be committed. And from there, they started giving us a student show, annual from talent and creativity show. So TNC show. There was so there were 3 sessions to it. There was an entrepreneur session, there was a chat session, and there was the talent session. So I was handling the chat session on a year for topic. I was there with Bernard Asari, Kukua, and one other lady. I've forgotten the name, so sorry. But yes, so I think she scored at the pot or something. Okay. We handled that. So that became the first official show.
Sure.
But it wasn't a full show. I could host, it was 2 hours. So I could host, yes, a segment of it. That's how come we started getting better and better. But prior to that, my entertainment stories, from morning shows, from mid-mornings to drives and all that. Wow. Okay. So that is how I got into the radio, and I stayed with them on from there till 4th year. After I finished school, I said I'll do my service there. So I spent, let's say, 5 years with ATL FM. Yes, there was a little issue when we were trying to move after the service period, So, I mean, that's the story for another day. So I found myself at Castle FM.
You come to the Castle FM.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question. Your 5 years stay with ATL FM, would you say that propelled you to believe in yourself that you can do this?
So I went in believing that I can do it before, yes. Because I had listened to other people and I felt like, I want to do some of this. No, I'm fair. Even when I finished SHS, I told my sister that I wanted to do radio. My sister said no, or a waste of time, that kind of thing. So she didn't even give me money to apply. So then I told myself that, well, what's university? It's a universal award. So remember, I have options. Either I do and get a first class, or I get any better class and do other things. I am one person, I want to do a lot. But when I do a lot, some have to suffer. So I knew that I can't put in the energy to do the first class, but I can put in energy to get a better class and do the other one. So yeah, I believe that I was going to be better at it, and ATL FM solidified it. Wow. They made me the better person. Before I left ATL FM, from morning show to drive shows, personal interviews, streaming, online streaming, IT, website management, marketing, every area. I did reporting, election reports, Kirby. I did. We will be of an OB. They groomed me all round. So ATL FM was the place that made me who I am.
Wow. We are coming to Castle FM.
Yeah.
That is where the peak is for me. That is where you started hosting and having big politicians and big men coming on the show. You diving into their works and everything. How scary it was, how easy it was. You're going to tell us all this on the spot. Welcome back from on a quick break. This is still the Spotlight Show here on Kofi JC TV. And then Obi Amano come on, Mr. Smile, the beautiful. And the so this man, every time I look at it, a smile is very infectious. He will smile and ask yourself, why is he smiling? Like, I don't know, but touch you there to feel like life is just normal, just live it. And he has been one great guy, make it on the Musian power, and I admire him a lot. From where I met him to where I've seen him going, I keep telling myself that I never tell the group because there are a lot of places that this guy can take me to that we can relax within it. So we are going straight into the conversation, but before we do that, make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms. And there is Shehenam. Remember, just subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so that the video will be out to where I go to me. Now, also drop your comments. If you know Smile from anywhere, then you want to share something with us for us to know, or you are inspired by the little that he has said, make sure you drop the comments and you also get inspired by it. This show is probably brought to you by Keepstore. You can go online, www.keepstore.com, sign up, sell or buy any item at a good and accommodating rate for all of us. Mr. Smile, let's go to Castle FM. More at a point when we started the mid-soul voice with radio. You have that infectious voice and smile like Ankara to trust when you do Ankara to be a saying, but Castle radio. What guy is this? Like, the voice said though. Like, unless and when he meets Smaller, we want to like, I don't know, on penny, but of Castle started Smaller. Oh, wow. How did you end up with Castle FM?
Okay, thank you again. But before I answer that question, and y'all need to see, I'm gonna move.
Oh, but
I'm gonna make a point. Yeah, extra care for men.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm gonna go far to talk.
Hey, what
I'm gonna make a So, Castle FM, like I said, my fee ATL FM after the 5th year, my national service, we were not. We were told that we would have been maintained a year by one bado. So I got myself with one Black American, one friend Matthew. He had a studio also from Platinum Studio. I was helping him, so he was going to do TV shows, commercials, movies, and all that. And in the meantime, I started working with him. And I ignore opposite Wesley Girls, one of the office now. But by then, I had heard that Castle FM Albert Town, and I didn't know anybody there. So I said, listen, let me just go put it through. And my dear friend called Louise Hansen, no, come on, Vim, was it Paddy Choco? Worst case scenario, I'm going to go to the young phone. Nothing else can happen. And I work with that mentality. There's nothing else you can tell me there. I just have to come and show myself. So I went there with him. He has a lecture control. So I moved from Platinum Studios to lecture control. So when I went, the lady at the front desk, Sister Margaret, London, Parker London, met me and I said, I look familiar. I said, well, Michima, Menanto, Auntie, maybe I nation will baby that. But she said, no, her radio or something. I said, well, maybe I'll be ATL FM because that's where I'm coming from, and I've spent most of my early days in radio in T, and a bit of Cape FM because of you as well, and a little of Ampere FM because of the drama show and MCA or One in T. So these are the 3 places in T. If she knows me, not kind of referencing ATL FM, that's where she knows me from. So she said they will call me back. So after like 2 weeks, they didn't call. Then I called and she said, oh, on some I was like, oh no, I'm a moment I want to come. Then I went in there. She said I should come around. So I got a one-on-one interview with the manager, Mr. Francis J. Kudonko, and Kafed. I was seated with him. It wasn't the usual interview. I just went in with my normal shirt and shoe beam. I got in. But this is what I went to do. I actually went in to be a mid-morning show presenter because I've been doing that. Prior to leaving ATL FM, I was co-hosting with Desi Fading. Desi, yes. So Desi Fading, yes. So when Desi moved to Radio Max, I took over. Okay. I took over like 2 to 3 months before 2 months before our service ended. Okay. And that was what I was going to continue. So I want to do mid-morning. Well, what are the presenters in here? So who am I? Why, if that is the only thing I can do, then I won't get an opportunity. But I was like, okay, but better mid-morning in TV. When it should be some there. What else can you do? By then, and now my boss was friend of Tish Emmanuel Ishmael Lai. Was start watching graphic design in the country. I'm probably I was minimum designing. I'm also catching I'm to my edit voices nowadays. Man, offered technician on duty said, okay, into graphic design, I have a software, I'm catching Photoshop now, we use, I'm catching the audio, so we use Adobe Audition. Chena Mubobi Abanu, no, but in your man, I'm catching website management. By then, I'm going to take Coursera. This year, 2 hours. This year, website management. So I had to learn the building of website, but I bypassed that. The management things because I'm was only 4 hours. Now I'm 2 hours. I'm watching this year. It was also at 8 So that very day, the man said, on Orange CV. He told me point blank, not Orange CV. And quite fortunate, I was the only person he was interviewing. It looks like all the other friends were based on recommendations. All the other colleagues that came to meet there as at the time of were all not bad. Started fresh stuff. So it was people either Onyumuan who not recommended one or he has listened and he had gone to bring them. I was the only person that was coming in without anybody recommending me or anything. See, it was fair enough. And that particular flyer was a flyer I was supposed to do. We're expecting Kennedy Japan to come to the show. It's quickly, you know, I'm calling online now. I'm quite a machine, I'm sure Photoshop in the version. Then I called one of my guys, my friend MBA. Now I'm kind of Pinterest. Now I'm share flyer design samples. Now I'm Colombia. Now I'm share the picture. Papa the picture name yet. They gave me a very old picture. And it will blur. So I made the shape a bit too now. Castle from colors. I made the logo too. I want to say okay, it's good. Very day. It was 15th of September. 15th of September. I remember specifically 15th of September. Now I started more Castle FM. As. So I started as so more like the IT, social media related stuff. So I was there for digital marketing purposes. So in Xavier Meyer graphics, I'm gonna post stories out to online. Caption. So social media related stuff, digital marketing, basically. That's how I got. That's how you got. Yes. Okay. And that was my major role. Yeah.
Then how did it happen that we started hearing you on radio? Because you were hosting a show. Which show was that?
So I hosted several shows on Castle FM. This is how I got in. So one time, Margaret, the receptionist, said, "Well, we 5 minutes video. It was 2 minutes actually. I did one of the times I was hosting on ATL FM. A motivational message. Normally, year before you go into the advert and all that. And I did it, and it was related to Let's Talk More Action. That is the motto for Ghana Think Foundation. Into Let's Talk More Action. So I did that, and I think it had a way to link to Malta Guinness. He had a time, I know also used them. Action, something of that sort. So I linked it, and movie and Facebook Live, I want to target Ghana Think, keep close, connect, and so she was searching through my Facebook, I'm sure. No one was getting about. So the man called me one afternoon, let me feed him IBE. Then he said, is this you? I was yes, that's me. He asked 3 times, I was yes, that's me. No, so no. Now he said, who host the show? But by that time when he started the official shows, there was show being of friend Mumpotim. It was my community. We were just going to talk about in your record way Mumpotim. Yes. And it was supposed to be one other person or host. None of an audition myself. I was also built to start hosting our friend at the Kennedy Japan interview, but that day he never came. So one other gentleman from Accra, I know your boss in your friend Oman was the one who hosted that day with this other fine gentleman from ATLFM, my boss, my friend Chris. 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 So he did that co-hosting with them, but subsequently Obotoye and Nando. So I started hosting Mumpotemino. I did a bit of a political show. When we started an official political show, which was called Mamman Modo. It was 2 to 5, Monday to Friday. I started that one too. There was times that I can sit in for drive. I had a personal show with a friend, Table of Men. It was Fridays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. I did that one too. There was a time I was co-hosting Reverend B on Sundays in Ube. Then I hosted choral shows. So there are a couple of shows that I did. The only thing I remember not doing in the studio was sports. Because that was a top team. And I said, I ended up Ghana for one of my nature. But I wasn't a sports person. any other show in-house, I did it.
Wow.
I did some at Castle FM. So beyond that, I also did. Yes, so for the shows, I did everything virtually on there.
I have 3 questions to ask you relating to the Castle FM, then we'll move on to another conversation. First of all, when you went into the office for your interview, the man said, on your CV, no, your certificate, no, what you can do. What is your take on that? Have you gotten to a generation where CVs, certificates don't really matter now? What you can do, the practical thing, is what most people are looking out for. Because aside Castle FM ATL, I know other places that you work with, you know people leading the firms and these organizations. What are people looking out for right now? As someone going out of school, are they looking for the certificate for you to get a first class, or they are looking for what you can do?
So this is the generation that is looking for what you can do. There's no other generation that has looked at what you can do better than this generation. Then times when I never got watch your CV, you brain 2 pages, we are punctual. I am. You will be a tired car.
Maybe you be pressure.
Yes, I can work under pressure. Oh, we can't even work under pressure. So I think it was then, but now is the time. They don't just look out for what you can do. It's soft skills and technical skills. Today, the way you are able to communicate. Like I told you, not Photoshop, it was shapes. Nobody knew what clip, shape. That was basically what I could do. Download. Those were basic, but I communicated with a certain vigor and vim be a papa GD. You are coming to hey, my dad so I didn't do designer as some busy hand. But I feel like the same way you have to be smart. I called my friend, no guy Jam Namasa, Pinterest. If we would flyer samples or you could what to do. If you are Tracy Bishop, maybe I click a picture and that was it. So this is the era where they are looking for things. And one of the basic ones, and why I began with saying that I'm a communicator is that I have ventured into the communications field. It's taking me some time, but I've realized that this is what I came to do. This is my purpose. I feel like anytime I speak, it's nice. It's not just nice. I communicate what you want to hear. So then this is what I'm easy to do. Even though I read accounting, even though I like other things, but I'm able to communicate. If it's the stage, doing plays like that, So one of the basic skills I would encourage all my friends out there is to get your communication on point. Kasa. Not just kasa, how you say it, your tonation. And you'll be able to kasa monotone. You can't talk. Nobody will listen to you this way. The way you're able to vary your voice, carry yourself. I'll tell you how recent issue that happened. I did a Muslim wedding quite recently.
Okay,
MC a Muslim wedding. That was my first time. Now the weekend I'm a gig. No, my gig in this case. Me and come back here there. Charlie, gig this week. Okay, on Tuesday. Thursday, another friend sent me a message to the Charlie. Or problem why nobody Muslim wedding or problem why MC and Mutumaya. We share message for 2 minutes. Now yes, I can do it. Meanwhile, first one. But I use that vim to tell him the mayor. And he knows I'm an MC, but when you never be a Muslim, let me catch you my vida. That's Waliu from Blue Lens Studio. Let me catch you I can do it. So I did the first one and can't get to see Cyrus photography. Cyrus that came video now, numbers of control. I put it on my Instagram and somebody confirmed it. Oh yeah, that was a nice Muslim wedding. And so I feel like this is the time you carry your vim. The rooms were up to, I'm telling you, I've applied for a job with a master's degree, but I don't have a master's degree. I've applied for a job with 5 years experience, but I don't have 5 years experience. I would do it. Sometimes I feel like go for it, get into the room and prove yourself. There are people that maybe would CV what Bashar said, but there are other places now that beyond CV, when they even hear you talk, it would be the turning point of your life.
Wow. Then my second question is, you have gotten to an era where social media is ruling.
Yeah.
From what you said, Margaret, the secretary, at a point, I show a video on social media that got you the time on radio to host shows, because initially for the digital marketing was
yes.
Boss no who the man, but Margaret took it, quite share boss then. What is the impact of social media now to us?
It's big. it's big. For somebody to just click a button on Instagram to be able to find it easily and ask you what you do, it's big. Today, people call me that, they want an MC. They don't know me, but somebody has seen me MC somewhere. I barely post my MCing stuff. After I get tax or MCs or charge MCs, and I barely post, but I'm getting back to doing that. So it's a big deal now. With the easy click, you are finding somebody, you are seeing somebody, you are learning something. I'm telling you, I've learned a lot of communication stuff through TikTok videos of people like Askvin, there's this other guy, Vusi Temakwai. I've been binging on their content because of through social media, and that is how I'm getting better. Like I've had the people like Manny K groom you. He's one of the big boss. I have to mention his name, Manny K, groom you and all that. And these people, we will all attest to the fact that social media is a thing now. It is big. It is where you can find everything. So in Yuhobia, unless you are big enough, never catch them in Yuhobi. But if you are young like myself, listen, you have to come there. It has its bad and the good side. Choose what you want to do. I told somebody in there, oh, people to me, you know, not that your fans. I went to me, you, are we you? I've done a bit of comedy and all those things on social media, but people are identifying me with something. Come there, do the little you know how to do. Before you know, well, I know you are trying to do this. Let me help you do this as well, and it would shape your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
My last question on Castle FM. I mean, from the investigations I made with your exit from Castle FM, I think Castle FM, you know, Wabeji, you people worked so hard yourself. The guy hosting, not all one driving,
Aman
Sankrachi.
Yeah.
You pushed the channel or the station, and Miss Ruby, the sports lady, you did very well. Sadly, when I was exiting, and if you want me, I did my inquiries. I got the reason from somebody, but I say, or him or her, or him, what really happened, because at that point, you hosted a lot of shows, you became an integral part of the team pushing the platform. Sadly, you left. What really caused that?
Thank you. It's very simple. I took a digital marketing course in Takrady with iCode.
Okay,
iCode. Smart. Smart was the manager there. I mean, it was Mest Africa. Now, was it an opportunity in the bay? Now, what kind of way? Website development or software development? And I said, no, I'm not interested in software. But it means that I don't pay because I'm Takrady, and I called my boys, you know, what's get to go into membership, I'm okay. Well, I calculated on one there. The distance is nice. I can still. The time I social media, digital marketing, bits and bits, Coursera, WhatsApp, and our time. So yes, there was COVID.
Okay.
So COVID made us learn a lot online, stay online a lot. Later on, Mest Africa is very big, and I knew a friend and I walked go through that training, and she's doing better. And I said, no, this is the thing I also need to get better at this whole social media thing. So then I had to go and stay in Accra. I called another guy, Segu, from Accra, also our space, from no one to one, Pumutuma and Anson. And I'm saying, no, I'll do this one. I need a new environment. I need to better myself somewhere too. Then I can come out and say that I'm a digital marketing expert and all that. I took that opportunity, did it. I stayed with them for about a year. Then I went into movie, you know, I came back. I came back to Castle FM, but then there was nothing like bad blood. I was okay. I was back to doing my shows and all that. But I just felt like it's time for me to bounce on and go do other things. It was then I decided that I want to take a break on radio and begin official MCing. I want to take life head on and decided, listen, I don't know what it might bring, but this is what I want to do now. I want to do, go forward. Gets me your radio part time. No mama so on the side. I will do that one rather.
Wow.
So, yeah.
We are wrapping up the conversation, but we are getting to the deeper side where we talk about the political aspects of your life and the volunteering aspects of life. How I even got into Cape Coast Connect, the main reason for Cape Coast Connect, and some of the opportunities that people in the group have found themselves in. And Obi Shahena or your young guy, if you are onto the world we are getting into now, able to educate them. These groups that people have, some of them are very important, and some of them pave way for us. So let's go for our last break. When we come back, we get into the political aspects and the volunteering aspects. Then we get done.
Thank you.
welcome back from the deep breath. We are still here on the Spotlight Show with Mr. Smile, and we are still talking about life. And I said stories here are to inspire and to encourage you to understand that you can also achieve whatever you want to do in life. Today, my guest has spoken a lot, but we will be we are moving into the political aspect of his life. Okay, and also there, the new reason of being on this planet Earth is to be a communicator. And those people, they are very sweet, they are very fast, they are very juicy, more than any drink that you can taste of. When you must work at the right time, and they know how to go back, and they are perfect on it. But we're looking at the political aspect of it. Let's look at the more. Radio flyer. You are standing for
independent candidate.
Independent candidate, KEA district.
Yes, no, it's a constituency. So if you put a whole KEA in, it's a constituency.
Okay, constituency.
Yeah.
Okay.
So individuals don't obey districts, but
District,
some of us
okay.
we have moved to municipals and both.
Okay. So, as an independent candidate, first of all, why an independent candidate? Because you have these two big political parties, or two, you say the dominating parties, that's the NPP and NDC. Most times, people there up back into politics or start from there. You align yourself with them, you get to know them, the ones that you want to move with. Then later you say, okay, maybe I'm not dreaming doesn't match them. Why that wouldn't straight ahead? As now go as an
straight ahead, my dream didn't match with any of them.
Both NPP,
Both NPP and NDC. You don't see any future with them, do you? Listen, let's be frank with ourselves. When it gets to politics, I get a bit emotional, I get a bit dicey. It all started on a page. I didn't get to politics won't come out. And one day I just said, listen, let me do a flyer. I started as a comedy. It's like a joke. So I said, let me do a flyer. A flyer? No, I'm just a flyer.
Yeah, you are.
Me have a flyer. I'm picture fine one and give me the shape. Now, me you know, I'm the SIC president. I was a children. I said, listen, I don't think I can do MPP and DC. Why? Simple. These two parties in any constituency, go and read it. You go and check. Why the leniency or something like that? Obi Dubia, Obi no Shala. So the people couldn't game. We are winning. I'm my papa in MPP. Maybe the politics.
Okay.
So it was hard for me to tell the Democrat MPP and NDC. Yes, I voted for both parties on different occasions, but I find it hard there. I remember Pedamos maybe MPS and I remember the line. Yes, I don't have to rise through the ranks, but no, I didn't want to do that. Now, two, Echo Party Cinema, and if you want to contest that, you have to pay for primaries.
Okay.
You know, you have to pay, yes, within the party in primaries, if you want to contest as the MP. Otherwise, the contenders have to contend, then you choose one or baby Jana for the final. I was not ready for that. I didn't even have money for that. That is where most of the Ghanaian politics money, a component of us more than even the general election. Wow. So I decided that, listen, I can't put Miniska.
So how much roughly do you know the figure?
I can tell you that roughly, internal politics, if you have not spent, you can spend about 1 million Ghana cedis to the internal politics. I'm not joking. I listened from other people, and because I was hosting a political show, it is the most dangerous part of the elections. Internal politics, is the one that you spend more, because only the people who are voting are direct. You know the people. They are constituency, they have their executives been a world vote, so you know them. In the NTR, they won't vote. In NTR, they won't vote. And you are South 1,000, so you should pay. I'm not go to your mobile. I was not ready to pay any money to anybody. So I just said, listen, independent candidate. And KEA, nobody has really gone on that tangent. Dr. Poko Kesin that difference, or the CPP, what's Papa Kakramayan. And so I said, listen, I'm a young boy. Worst case scenario, independent candidate. It's the same worst case scenario, medical job interviews. And your first time I'm marrying, I've gone for vice president at National Service, Cape Coast Metro. I tried as vice president. I think 4 weeks to election. No, that I want to do some. I'm the main cook friend Edwin. A campaign. And it's funny how the difference in vote was like 47 from the person. And even on you'll be joining. So that was not my first time losing. It's loser. I learned from my losses. I go for it. Imagine that was all I was looking for. People will know me. I don't care about Murini. Sometimes I don't even come to I come in there to make connections. So back to the politics issue. I told myself that MPP and DC, they're not offering me anything. Yeah. Go to Elmina, go to KEA right now. There is nothing they are doing for us or unique from Bebun. Where your road we are, that's what we're doing. A lot of people in KEA, they have either had to do a Pujuma another you just got you to connect content. Why? But in China, you took me a year. But we have people coming to do a lot of things. And I said, listen, I'll give myself that task. Muko Constitution was in the 21 years, so you can stand for MP. And I said, wow. Every time I'm about 21. That's right. More picture, more flyer. Me never mini party. I say, well, mini colors now, me yeah. Then, Messi, if you have getting me, let me share it. Let me share now. Let me start to share the year. Is one of your comedy and I do stage plays and all that. I run Smart Fun House. So we say, or your stage play, you're a banana, rough, and I'm oh. That's me rough. I'm serious. So when I started saying that I'm serious, and people also said, took it like, people said, this is the time. It is a time for the youth. And I'm saying, hey, some people, baby, you know, oh no, I'm more of him. Bad 2 weeks, may share, oh, Facebook, you know, my cross on my I declare my intention. Me a senses. Senses. No, conflict midi. Then a few guys in Elmina said, one guy from Oma, he called me and said, Charlie, I don't know and I support you. This guy, after 2 weeks, let me tell them who posted. This guy will post every morning. Or post to a WhatsApp, or post to a Facebook. Baby, man, I got to fly. I did man slow. No, I say, who post? Baby, some company I say, madam, no, post. As I tell you, there's another guy posting. The guy redesigned everything. On the side, the say me actually. Oh, on LinkedIn, man, you get a party be with you. In Chincha, you feel independent. Me, I can't party be not MPP anything, but in Cebu, the force.
With what you are saying, would you say that the people of Elmina, the young or the youth, they are looking for somebody to stand for?
They are. It takes. And currently, we have one guy like that.
Okay.
Ojama PPP. Okay. I mean, I support him. That whatever he's doing, he should go for it. I'm not supporting him on party lines or whatever, but the fact that he's a youth, I believe that it's our time. In my constituency, one way the MPs now, it's 40 plus years now. What as a wood MP? Why? What would they know for us? This is the era, new change. Or them from Manayaba, yes, you swim. They don't even talk to us, and that was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to champion it, because. So these are actually our plan, and I'll say it on live TV for here today. This was the plan. Never bring a 1,000 hours based in nature. Then we'll use that to champion a cause. We were not really going to go into the election. This was our campaign there. In a 1,000, and we knew that this year we're reaching 10,000 cities for the parliamentary elections as the fee election. So the plan was, you know, be a moment in 10 cities by 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Somebody will give less than 10 cities, or people more than 10 cities. So we might not even need 1,000 people. But the 1,000 people was to tell the MPs who want to contest in there. I believe then I said, okay, 1,000 people are. Will be able to they'll be, hey, now I feel like I need 1,000. And if I had contested, if you had seen my name on the ballot, that's why I mean, you 10 more to mama. You'll still be afraid. Yeah. And we were getting those numbers. I can tell you for a fact. They were getting those numbers to the point that it was bringing fear. It was bringing fear. People will not acknowledge it. I can tell authority today. Me fearful catch that this thing I'm doing, I have to stop. Wow. My father came in telling me that I have to go and write a post. I'm telling you this because I'm not free. My father told me that madam, I should just tell people that it's a joke. I told my father that then it will be a joke. I'm not a joke because I want to do this. In the near future, I'm not a joke. People will tell me that you said it was a joke. But I'm telling you today, I am still in politics. This year I'm not contesting. Someday, I'm coming back to KE. Someday, you'll see my name on the ballot paper. Someday, in constituency now, they don't even care to have a discourse with the young people. Someday, the party system now, the NDC continue to win with KE, and people know to break a quill, and we'll bring that change. Now I'm a Mebunsu community. I told you, let me just add this quickly. 3 things I wanted to do in the constituency if I had opportunity. And today, not to win, but said, me no opportunity there. You sit down, we'll be reporting and there. These were the 3 things. We have young people aware artists and other community member. Check the whole of KE. There's not even one recording studio. It was this guy, Bogi Wednesday, Nayan could be Presdo. Those were the people that know what was studio. But in the where are they? They are all moved to Cape Coast. In the young boy that recording him, or they move all the way to Cape Coast or beyond and Sana record. But if you could get one unique studio, inche a better tonema. You can come and record when you're producer at a very low fee.
You are saying something at a point. Now you had fancy configuration starting from Elmina.
Where is it today?
From? And all these guys.
Where is it today? Another thing was that I wish that in the was the 2 years would you see and at the pumps. Why? Meanwhile, I've seen it practically. I can tell you on authority today. Baby was a 6 months. No, was a I'm sure you know this lady, Chelsea from Takai.
Yeah, Chelsea.
Her Pass Up 100 initiative. I looked into it and I said, no, listen, we can implement this in the community. In the Awusian the pump, if you don't need to. I'm telling you one of the business ideas I had. You don't even need to get your own store. You have a website. You own a boutique on the website. As we do about to, you try the pictures. You don't need a store now. The last thing was that I wanted education in the STEM conversation. I a big deal. A lot. I'm a Morocco Trobis in a movement. Blue Litmus paper. I never saw that thing. Yes, I teach a crown or exam lesson because we betraying. That's how come I got the deep understanding. I was telling somebody, say, in a 40 feet container, there is a science, either math set or from the science set. We want to buy some. Now, these are all initiatives. I'm not just saying it. We will do it. I have young people who are ready to help us do it. You're about to be schools. No, it's 150 cedis per one. But when you want to come over, my bottom is a science practical. Okay. We want to buy a lot of it near from schools. Before you realize, you have to 40 feet container. You are stuck in as a science lab. Children should take turns when you want teachers. They should have a full space in the library. When you're practical, I don't know. They can match up to all the people in the other private schools and all the schools in Cape Coast and beyond. But because they don't have privilege to this, open schools in Open school or better way down, no game. In the formal game, baby. But we've not been able to channel this energy. You're about to me, I'm a formal game. Can we get a place where a formal game? I think EMP won't first sing. If you motivate people to do this, the last one I'll tell you, I know our time is fast spent, but was drivers. I was concerned about drivers. What about they be watch young drivers over Elmina? And if we were regional city guard, no. A lot of them is simply because they don't have licenses. License in Yimpan or a DVL in Yimpan over. If you can negotiate, they are license and what enjoy 1,005. Ebia you go to 500 and Yimpa 100 CCR. Sky as a baka come one book of float. What about t-shirt transaction? You find share that maybe be more enough. Now, Kakanawa can obey you one way here. We'll give you maybe a period of 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Every month be a maybe a 200 bra. Now 1 year package in one. By the time a bullion, look at the license. In the London Beach here, how will you obey away? If they needed drivers now, we use boys. But because they don't have licenses. And I believe there's a number of things we see another pub, Nara one inside Juma, Nara two Chunukal or 1 license. You don't need to go and do ball hole in the community. Drivers are all community. Why not obey because we was going to die. Sure. Since the police in being chimney in Jimmy's car. But this is not where they want to look at. What better what time chance, you know, I can't add down. No, I can't buy chance, you don't know what's in there. Why to TV that I patas, you know what's there? Why are they? TV that bender, you want the TV in Yabadu. But tell me, it's a driver in Bass Sample, who took what you want to do. Actually, one more for frat. At the pump for 10, not someone's way better. Can't they help another 10? If 10 is helping another 10, do you know what we are doing? This is where we just wanted to focus. Yeah, my madam obey Jesus Christ. Man, can remember K. Why Krabosh there, heaven. Yeah, but then Bebuna woman, one more town. Yeah, 2 year baby. And then you know that in K there is a Teenage Mothers Association. Teenage Mothers Association. Young girls, wow, what to association. Nurse has been a what to woman. My sister is a nurse. No, what born one day. In check, no, what's one back and that was to help them. In the Mofanaji group, no, what in them. No, feel big. But why should this be? In Chawa one son, you must win in Sanumpa. Fine. Or go to my name, you might not ask what. But these people will not have job. When you say, yeah, no, from them group, no, why do you treat this? No, sure, better. But I felt. And your room sooner, AO. Last one is a tourism bit in Elmina. We've advocated for. There's this young man doing a boat ride. They are prepared to be support non top boats need be bear 5 from Bonkong. I personally brought people to Elmina. I bring people to Elmina. They won't go through boat ride. Sometimes boats need to have 8 at a time. Next thing you bear 10 taba. And every trip be 1 hour. In check, so 3 boats no one coffee, you patent within 1 hour we are done. But here we are. Elmina, do you know that the road not that Liverpool Street road not there? I told somebody that listen, we can just decide to paint. I don't know 1 year. I told another president today, we've thought about all this, but it didn't pay for me. We are going to paint history in mural. Paintings as mural. In Tibumu, yes, and one story, another Elmina story in painting. In this for them street, but they don't need to go with a car. They need to walk on that street and experience it, take pictures. Do you know how much that would bring us?
Yes.
They will bridge yellow away, bridge yellow that in the politicians, one flyers will do with it. You can paint it in the history story. Men do big general, you you confirm not to no one can you the story no one can. But here we are. And these were the things we wanted to do to help community.
Well, let me ask you this before we go to the entrepreneurship type and the other aspects of it. It's very important that we look at that because that is one of the major things that I want us to look at. But somebody would say, which you have the ideas. But when you get into it, these ideas cannot materialize, cannot happen. I don't know your experience with that. But before we go to that, make sure you subscribe to our channel. Also follow us on all social media platforms. And tell me can Cape Store. No one women made your bar. Or make any echo www.capestore.com. Now a sign up. You bring all the details near here. No, your electronics, your home appliances, your kitchen utensils, anything, camera, any gadgets you see them, and they are very affordable, and we trust them. That's why we are doing this advert for them. So let's go to what I'm saying. We make it our idea is fine. Charlie American I afraid. It's very beautiful. Oh, this. But I come into you having this experience in people and having this idea. We can what to say to them.
I'll tell a person a big lie. I'll give you an example of sewings, which is possible. Chelsea.
Yeah, I know Chelsea.
Chelsea is a radio presenter at YFM in Takrady. Go to Instagram, look for Boss Up 100 Foundation.
Boss Up,
BOSSUP 1100 Foundation. She has done it. In the graduate girls upon girls. She's not in politics, but she has got funding. Funding more than initiative. It is possible. One for one for MP continue. It takes the whole community. And as the American, your friend, Cape Tech, they do a lot of practicals, but they on so can open a go to open school, or to go to the public account. It is possible. Mama Bian can join there. This time, you will bring that same energy in. If the person says, they should put the money down. Let's start this. May you need 10 machines, and not 5 sewing machines, 2 knitting machines. No, be made in space. And if we fail, we will learn from it. But I've took I'm taking this practically from Chelsea. Chelsea has done it. Mr. Moore, a whole curriculum to help this. There's another initiative for girls. I'll tell you about that one later. So we'll talk about it is possible.
With what you are saying then, Martina, I think Martina Elmina from my basic 3, because I'm Korango.
Okay.
So I'm from class 4 to JHS2. So I'm Korango. Let me say Elmina Ejadia. I think Edinburgh side in the library.
Yes.
People hold now all these things were to empower the people. Somebody sitting somewhere in the they don't see the effect of the library now. So
it's a mindset issue. It's a mindset issue. Which is why at the Parmesan I was making reference to my former work with Cape Tech. Yes. Naturally they want to do it. So how does this person survive? And then they do all one better way you. Original. So why do you think 2 years them looking up on madam when you took a kind of work of you? It takes a longer time. But if you can, there are Chelsea there is support. West Africa they do digital marketing training for instance. Every day we have 20 Ghana cedis a snack for snacks. Yeah, one China I do free no. The same digital marketing I been with millions to get on. No, what sense woman we made a certificate. Even intention period, they paid us. Internship at West Africa, I was paid 1K.
Wow.
1K. No,
More than
what's
somebody's salary.
oh no, I'm 1K plus. Oh, it's not office no East Legon. I'm going to Green Street. Now they've moved to Osu. Meet the breakfast, lunch, supper. Me do agree. Just imagine East Legon. Can you buy 20 cities?
Sure,
No, my breakfast at Mest was it 50 Ghana cedis. Lunch and dinner 80. It is a man quite. Some man call for madam say, hey, you are wasting my money. So at office on Monday to Wednesday was compulsory, but Thursday and Friday you can stay home. I mean, maintenance pay then. We kill fruits, one eggs. I mean, oh, no, Miss what 24/7. We come now. Be able to compare. I'm going to cake now. This is fridge. So these were motivating factors. Man, in office. Obi ala pun compare. I'm a security man. You you feel it. What for you actually make it someone oh and be shape.
So they are doing everything to make you feel comfortable.
If we can get a little funding to support the members of free, then if you're open for you to me, you people across what trade manage and I'm sure Baba. Oh, Muka, Malam Mukusiani, was also a Maka bottle. They will come. It is possible. Obey them to some power, but it is possible.
Wow. Let's move fast because of time. Let's go to the aspect of mediation within the next 10 minutes.
Sure.
With Cape Coast Connect, I think I will see contact because I cast once in a while. Then I saw you posting about Cape Coast Connect. So I'm like, what is it about? They told me, oh, Charlie, young individuals, we come together, we try to help each other. And my bar meetings, I think 3 or 4 times. Maybe I think I came one day, came there to talk to us about how you can invest, how you
we're doing financial literacy,
we did everything. In some way, because of time, but I want to see him.
Yeah.
In some way, but then we said, what do you do? How did it start for you? Like, give me because it's it's the future now. But I don't know how everything started for you. And I don't know the importance of it.
Very simple. On campus again, guy I'm a friend MB and I'm a friend about my graphic writing called Castle FM. On a Dora was a communication team. It's not about ATL from Obusia. What about your woman on radio shows? It's not about your talent and creativity show. It was started to work at Backcamp once. And I'm saying, what's going on? It started as a Backcamp. And then to Backcamp, it's just 1 day program from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sometimes 5 p.m. There are sections, networking, it's mentoring, and it's quite different. On a day, one-on-one. You find that Kofi JC, I put in Casa, Debia, Kofi JC in a podium, no, Okasa Wudu. No, you get the opportunity to sit with Kofi JC one-on-one. You get the opportunity to sit with a certain bank, being a manager, a certain lecturer, willing to remember. That was how different it was. Then I loved it. Then I told them that I didn't put them back home, I wasn't about volunteers. So they put me on board as a volunteer. I work with them. Then most of the team members in Yano Fita Kradi or they are students from Accra. Into Wobio School work now. Then it has to leave. Into Obiarinyo, then it fell on me. Then I'm about the Backcamp Cape Coast lead. So the bigger foundation is called Ghana Think Foundation. And Backcamp baby baby. We are in all the 10 regional capitals, the old 10 regional capitals in here, we are there plus Accra and Tema. So apart from the 10 regions, that is Kaswa and Tema, and the mini ones that we are. So yes, 12. But now we are expanding. Just this weekend we are going to host Backcamp Who, and we've been hosting it since 2008. I joined a bit late, around 2015, 16 thereabout. But the Cape Coast Connect idea was that Backcamp. So after you are a Backcamp now, we've got to know ourselves with network now. What we want to do is subsequently, what do we do? Okay, every month there you be share young people, sometimes it's just for you to release stress. Also, even in Accra from there where conversations are doing, what baby away watch the South and then they would dance. So it's a lot of things, but the major focus was for young people to come. Now young community and the things in our community, young for ideas and you to me about Accra and for idea and Cape Coast. But Cape Coast for a problem. That's how come we talk about financial literacy. A clean air campaign. You share some of the air pollution issues in Cape Coast and you're finding solutions to them. You're raising awareness on it. So Cape Coast Connect once a month at a pub, and normally we get to give free drink because we get a little funding. We are not one of our drink account. Basically, there you come and connect. So we believe that you are doing something. Somebody is also doing something. If you get to know that person, who knows? They want to link up. Oh, Musubi Yeramaji, Kofi Jesse. I'm sure a lot of people on Cape Coast Connect have featured on this particular.
Yeah, that's what I think. My first podcast, students will bring here from your platform. That's
great. So those are some of the benefits. There were times that Obi Wakra, no, Obi said, oh, Obi or Cape Coast. Somebody from Cape Coast can just support you. Obi or Asa now, Obi Nim Bibi or Cape Coast, or two Bisa. No, actually, oh, and so the group there is to support each other, to give you room to know people. We have lectures, Cape 360, Core 360. We have like a whole lot of.
And Atul is even on it.
There's
one great guy.
There's one other page, Accra Dibia Moda. Even the National Science and Math Space, Mamma, what do be? The main one, yes. One. She's even on the page. I've entered those connect pages. There are times I'm more takradi. All I have to do is maybe so be actually takradi. I find out about no be a catcher. You can join multiple pages. As I know, I am more Borga page, and through this bar camp and all these things, Marco Borga, Marco Wa, and it's beautiful. And I want to travel Ghana more through bar camp.
Wow. Yeah, end the conversation. Somebody is watching us. This is your camera. Before we wrap up, this is your camera. Young guy, volunteering and all this stuff. If somebody wants to be part of it, how does the person go about it?
So let me make it quite simple.
Before that, I'm going to join. It's a question, not for my views.
Our volunteer. Okay, so it's quite simple. I think you need to decide what you love to do.
Okay.
Decide what you love to do. If you don't even know what you love to do, come. Actually, what's where you clean up, Kobe. Oh, actually, what's a okay, baby, Kobe. What's boys which are Edibon Kobe. I mean, my class, I'm so control. You're volunteering me, I'm share boy, you know, obey a tight party pass. 1 minute, a comedian. No, from the party now, you know, oh, Charlie, hostel. Must a yibia pair with CNC, burning the D. A shit to. You're quite deep or anything.
So you're not
you knew bimbo, you knew bimbo. You knew D. You never get a big. I met this guy with cleaner. And like what born him the yes so a rough more. Then we became friends. And we might making the free food. Free food. Listen, when you hear that something is going on which doesn't require money, in Cape Coast, where it is September in Cape Coast, where Kofi Jesse will host BB, come, Christian Kofi Jesse, how can I help? How can I help? Kofi Jesse, my name is Mambo. There be a man called Jadi Binyefi. How can I help? How can I help? How can I help the man? I'm going to with you. And today, I can tell you on authority today, I have found my purpose through volunteering. Today, I'm serving as communications lead for quite a number of volunteering groups. Today, there's one guy, PPAG. Okay. Lady be from us, them papa. I have not met the guy before. The guy know what but I mean, apparently not see a volunteering with that, but I'm that. No, so the lady said, or baby, be a family planning home. Mamiti, me family planning home. But she wants me to help. And I said, listen, the person told you that I'm a volunteer at heart, so we'll do it. Just go out there, you woman, Bobby. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe a extra from maybe I can. And today, through this volunteering, I'm championing a cause of operationalizing the Aternos Library. The Wisi Library in 8 years in Onye Juma. Sikana want to see on the pro. I'll share videos and everything. We've started an online campaign. So far, we have about 352 people signing for us. We are looking at 500 people. Next year, we'll petition some other people. As of now, I can tell you that thing alone has given me another group of people who want to know me, who want to know more. A lady friend of mine has written an article on it. Also, we'll post one of the big channels on it for me. So, just put yourself out there. I tell you where your baby will put him a yebi. Ekwa men kwa keke. Area ni be say, oh, put your from there. Maso from the mass me a day. Into a problem why baby they are air from. Ebeye nyoma be free. A lot of my volunteering too was in MC. My MC freedom, I be on poor mo made man. Na me da re walk with you. Come up bomb gal na manda. Na me da shebiti. But before I realized, na you can recommend them baby for fun. So if you put yourself out there and do a lot of things, people will connect you to people. Papa, madam woman there on Yusum Kakao campus. Before I realized Jesse is connecting me to Mayo. Mayo is connecting me to this other guy, Multiman. Multiman is connecting me to another person. And that is how you grow. Phone check. Help somebody. Worry a BBA. Our day in yes go, but the money is coming or also. Unchel Miss Canon, but
Unchel, because I know the money you are eating now, the money you are enjoying because with
caution.
But all I want to say thank you so much for coming on this show, and conversations will be coming like as time goes on because we have a lot to share with our viewers, we have a lot to share with us. I've been impacted. But before you go, with the volunteering aspect, new one here with Atamo's Library. If somebody is watching a person going to join the petition, with social media or maybe or her, and anybody to hold now, now petition, I will join the petition and watch out.
So quickly, thank you very much. The whole idea is to Yabosha Atamo's Library in Bay Juma BM. And you know, Bay Juma, I don't know what this is one thing here, Juma. This is 8 years. Obiara, you see, I'll show you pictures of how it's looking now. And I had the privilege to go in there before once with Kankeri, my director. Into yes, sir. Go to my Facebook page. My name is Gideon Anasma. Go to Facebook, you search MC Mr. Smart, and you just search Gideon Anasma. Gideon, what's the name from Gideon? Gideon Anasma. You go there, you find Maypin. That is the first write up of Maypin. You find the article there. Now I click a link. No woman do. Just sign. Or maybe so wouldn't. And Emia baby I can sign. That's all. On facial outs, just it's not anything about true details being as apple baby. You probably a cup one. I'm a hero campaign for him. The member going to do then a year today, the Martamus Library, or Butuma, Manawa, Buena, or Beji and answer maybe. I'm out with Timoka, over the head. I want to tell you one for what the dumb what he had. So please go to my Facebook handle, Gideon and Asma. Then you just check the link out. Here we are. Then you come aboard. But lastly, I want to say that there's a lot coming in. There's a lot going on in Cape Coast. If you want to join the Cape Coast Connect, I will do well to share the link with my brother. We'll leave it in the comment section.
Description to you
yes.
there.
So as much as possible, like click the link and I'll be able to join. Beyond that too, other Connect pages. When maybe I join the Takraza Day or whatever, just join the Cape Coast one and ask for it. We'll give you the others. And lastly, I want to say a big thank you to you, Charlie. This is the first time. I think this is the second time we have an opportunity to be a spotlight, let me a personality.
Oh, a personality,
but it is a matter.
Personality.
I think I'm also a man of my. So yes, I want to say a big thank you to you, Jesse, for the opportunity. I want to say a big thank you to Abena from Mayor Ward. Thank you to the crew too. I'm on my fit. Picture them post on social media. Right up there. Well, I want to say thank you now. Anybody watching, but I am from our comment section. I want to come watch some papa. Be a good boy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for staying with us on this conversation. It has been a lengthy conversation, but I always say that the time is important, but the impact is more important than what you can think of in life. We have gotten to a generation where certificate matters, but that is not the most important thing now. People want to look at the practical aspect of it. And one thing too that is generating a lot of great finances for people is recommendation. That one the man can attest to it. There are places that I've worked in a mini experience war, them places, but based on somebody's recommendation, no, I'm calling it. My candidate, anybody and make sure you put up your best character because you don't know where that person might sit and mention your name. Thank you so much for watching us. But before we leave, I want to drop your social media handles. If you have a shout out to Obinuma, then we wrap up.
So my social media handles here, MC Mr. Smile on all social media handles. So Instagram, X, Facebook, I use Gideon and Asma, and I have a page. So, but on the LinkedIn, it's Gideon and Asma. But finally, I want to use this opportunity to say to one beautiful lady that I'm really sorry. This is a side conversation, but I did something wrong, and I want to say I'm sorry, Bella. I'm really, really sorry. Yeah.
I'll cut that one and send it to you, Bella. Thank you so much for watching this conversation. Whoever watched this conversation, I want to say I appreciate you for your time being here, and I pray that whatever you learned tonight here on this show, it makes impact in your life in the generation ahead of you. Thank you so much for watching. We are out. Bro, thank you so much.
Sorry, Marcus and Pino.